it's Pia. So today I'm going to be doing my October wrap-up. During the month of October, I was really busy. Like, who am I? I had like social engagements, I had like friends. It was weird. So I didn't have too much time to read that many books. I actually only finished 2 books. But during that time I was actually reading a lot of different books, just not finishing them, if that makes any sense. So I'm still going to talk about those and a little bit of my TBR for November. It's November, holy crap. And also I really wanted to take down my Halloween decorations today, and like I might do that after this video, but I wanted to film my October wrap-up. Like, if my October wrap-up had no Halloween decorations, that would just be sad. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to, without further ado, get into the books that I read. So the first book that I actually finished during the month of October was Slasher Girls and Monster Boys. I talked about that in my last month's, what was it? My last month's wrap-up. So if you guys want to like check that out, I actually made a Goodreads this month. So if you want to check that out, it's down below. It's just like Pia. So it's a collection of short stories that are psychological thrillers and kind of spooky stories. I don't have that with me because it's a library book and I returned it, obviously, because I'm a great person. So for today's emoji rating system, we're going to do obviously the pumpkin emoji because like yeah, Halloween, October. Anyways, so I ended up giving that a 3 out of 5 stars. I was originally thinking maybe 4, but by the time I finished the book, I realized there wasn't really much that I liked about it, and I liked a few stories out of like the total, which was like 20 something probably, and it was just not my fave. So I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars, meaning that I enjoyed it, and I liked finishing it, but I wouldn't read it again. So yeah, the next book that I read is Stalking Jack the Ripper. I started this book at the end of September on my birthday, to be exact, and I don't know when I finished it. I finished it like a couple weeks ago, or a week ago, I don't remember. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. This book was really good. It's Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. If you watch any books on YouTube, books, how do you watch a book? If you watch any booktubers videos on YouTube, you would have heard about this book. It's extremely well rated and I loved it. The story follows a girl who is really into forensics and studying that, but because it's set in the 1800s, obviously the time of the Jack the Ripper murders, people think women can't do anything. So she apprentices under her uncle. She starts like, you know, trying to help him figure out this case. And, you know, she has these family problems. Her mom died. Her dad's kind of like really protective. Her brother's also quite protective. She meets this guy who's also likes forensics and is also apprenticing with her uncle. It's kind of like solving the mystery. It's like a whodunit of Jack the Ripper. It's kind of historical fiction because Carrie Maniscalco actually uses, let me try and find an example, some letters that Jack the Ripper actually did send to the police in the 1800s. This is the From Hell letter, right? Like this one right here, which is the From Hell letter. But hello, okay. But at the end you actually do find out who Jack the Ripper is, which is not the same as real life, but I really liked this book. It was really great, and I think, I don't know if I've rated this on Goodreads yet, but I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, 5 pumpkins, because I just can't wait to read the second book. Like, oh, like the main character I loved so much, and like I was kind of shocked at who Jack the Ripper was, but I was also kind of like but I was also kind of like, whoa, you were telling me it's this guy and now it's like not. It's great. I recommend it totally. So now on to books that I've started reading but I haven't finished. Which of? I have 3. First one is Harry Potter. This is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, obviously by J.K. Rowling. Do I even need to say that? And I'm not going to explain what the plot of this is because I would assume that most people know. Except me. This is my first time reading Harry Potter. I know. I'm like not into reading or like doing stuff that's really hyped because I feel like my expectations are always like really high and then I like get let down. But by the way, this is like the Britain version, like copy. So it has a different cover. It's really cool. Anyways, so I've gotten through about half of this book. I'm at like page 100 and it has like 200 pages. But I really like it so far. Like, it's really good. It's real good, and I can't wait to finish this so that I can continue on with the series. And also, each time I finish a book, I think Ashley and I are going to watch the movie because she loves Harry Potter and I really like it as well. So I can't wait to finish this book. It's a very short book, but I'm lazy. The next book I have here is Caroline Kepnes's You. I've read 30-something pages of this. 37. I really like this book. I kind of oddly find it a little bit relatable, which is not great. It's a different writing style than I'm used to. I'm pretty sure this is an adult book, and as we can tell, I read a lot of young adult books, YA. Not just because, like, I find that I haven't found too many adult books that I really like. Here's the synopsis real quick. Follows this guy. His name is Joe, I believe. Yes. And so he meets this girl named Genevieve Beck, just Beck, in New York when he's at work at this like bookstore, I believe, which is like relatable. Then he kind of becomes obsessed with her and like follows her and like stalks her. And then it says something about murder on the bottom, but like I'm 30 pages in, who knows? And yeah, so it's a very different writing style than I'm used to. It's a thick ass book. It's like thick. But it's kind of like how you can use social media to kind of like find out everything about someone. And I mean, I'm not saying I don't like it. I just haven't gotten enough into it to really like know how I feel about it, because I could go either way with this book. Like, I could really like it, which I'm hoping I do, or I could hate it. But Stephen King says it's good. Like, it's when you know. The last book that I've been reading during the month of October is Girl Online Going Solo. This came out a year ago. I really like it. Like, there's really nothing bad about this book. I love Zoe Sugg. I love her books. The first one, oh, so good. Second one, oh, again. I think I've read the first one about 3 times. It's so good. And I know, like, a lot of people don't like her writing. And, like, I've read reviews and they're not too good. But for me, it's like, I don't know, the story I'm really involved with and the characters, and I can take a lot out of this because it relates a lot to me. And I'm not gonna like specifically talk about what this book is about because it's obviously the third in a trilogy, so I'm not really gonna talk about the plot of this one. And you can obviously tell I love Zoe Sugg, got her merch on. Yep. The main character, Penny, has anxiety, and she has a blog that kind of helps her like manage that and deal with it, kind of, which I just relate to a lot. I have this little thing called a YouTube channel, and I have this little thing called anxiety and depression, and it just kind of oddly helps me deal with that, which makes not a lot of sense, but it does. And so I relate to this a lot, and I really love that first book and the second one, and I will finish this soon. If you're ever wondering why I read like different books at once, it's just because like I'll start a book and I'll really like it, and then I get like hot and cold with books. So like I'll be like, oh yeah, I really want to finish Girl Online right now, and then I'll be like, but I have this other book that I really want to read too. So plus it also depends on my mood. I'm like a very mood reader. So I picked out 3 books that I might end up reading during November. Who knows if I get some extra time, but these are ones that I think I really want to, I don't know, feel like they're November books. Does that make sense? I don't know. First one that I may or may not, that I do want to read, is The Animators by Kayla Ray Whittaker, and this follows these 2 writing, screenplay, animation partners, and they're making a full-length film. They have family troubles, they have relationship troubles, and it's kind of about their friendship and how their career is involved with that and their family life and things like that. And I really want to read this in November. Yeah, I feel like, okay, do you ever look at a book and you're like, I know what month I want to read that in? Like, no? Just me? Because I look at this book and I go, November, maybe January, March. No? No one else? Next book that I would like to read in November is Madness So Discreet. I actually wanted to read this in October, but that didn't happen. And it's about this girl named Grace. She gets locked up in an insane asylum, She's pregnant, I believe. She meets this doctor guy and he's like real cool. She's trying to escape. Stuff. I don't know. I look at this cover, I think October, November. No one else? Okay. And then the last book that I would like to read in November, and I wish I've already read, but it is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. This one's signed. Yeah. I hauled this in my Washington DC haul, if you saw that video, where I was also sitting over here with glasses on. Different pair though, funny enough. And again, look at this cover. I say November. Maybe January. What am I doing with my life? If you guys want to, you should let me know down below what books you are reading this month, or what books you haven't finished and you really want to read, or what books you read. Lots of books. Just anything about books you want to tell me. Go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. I really love when you guys talk to me about books, and that's been happening recently and it makes me really happy. And if you guys have read any of those books, let me know how you liked them. How you liked them? If you liked them? Who knows? And I'm going to take down these decorations and hopefully go read some books. And I will see you all in my very next video. Love you.